Welcome to the Ethiohe Bash School YouTube channel, everyone. I'm your host, Aginchu Tesfa. In today's session, we'll be diving into some exciting topics. If you're new here, we'd love for you to join our learning community. Simply hit subscribe, give this video a like, and share it with anyone who might benefit. Ready to get started? Let's go. What are the connectors in English? In English, connectors, also called linking words, transitional words, or connectives, are words or phrases that link ideas, sentences, or paragraphs together so that writing or speech flows more smoothly. They help show the relationship between pieces of information, while conjunctions are a type of connector that grammatically links clauses within a single sentence. Example: the cat slept, but the dog barked. Connectors often link to separate sentences or paragraphs. Example: the cat slept. However, the dog barked. Double quotes. Key difference in simple words. All conjunctions are connectors, but not all connectors are conjunctions. Conjunctions are a smaller group with a strict grammatical role inside a sentence. Connectors is the bigger umbrella term. It also includes words like however, therefore, in addition, which connect ideas rather than just words or clauses. One. Types of connectors by functiona. Addition to add information. These connectors introduce extra information or add a point that supports a previous idea. Umlaut on dualsu as well asu in additionu wario veru. Furthermore, bezitas. Example: she speaks English and French. The project was a success. Furthermore, it exceeded all expectations. The hotel is beautiful. Moreover, it's near the beachb. Contrast to show differences. These words show a contradiction or opposition between ideas. Umlaut butu. However, on the other hand, do yechu, although even though whereasu nevertheless. Example: I wanted to go out, but it was raining. The weather was beautiful. Nevertheless, we decided to stay indoors. He's very talented. However, he lacks experience. See, cause and effect, to show reason and result. These connectors indicate a result or consequence of a previous action or event. Umlaut because thusen su asu. Therefore, as a result to consequently uhensi. Example: she stayed home because she was sick. The bus was late. Consequently, I missed my appointment. The store was closed. Therefore, we went to another one. Sequence, order to show order of ideas. These connectors help organize ideas in a specific order, often used in instructions or narratives. Umlaut first. Firstly, you next to then u after that you final you mean will u subsequently equal. First, wash the vegetables. Then, cut them into pieces. First, gather all your ingredients. Next, mix them in a bowl. Example and illustration thus are used to introduce an example or to clarify a point. Umlaut for example, for instance, such asu liku namelu in particular. Example: many animals are nocturnal. For example, owls and bats. Many animals have adapted to their environment. For instance, chameleons can change color to blend I and F. Comparison to show similarity. These words are used to show similarities between two ideas. Umlaut likuasu just asu similaru likewise. In the same way. Example: she sings beautifully, like her mother. He's hardworking. Likewise, his brother is very dedicated. Emphasis. These connectors highlight an important point or stress a particular idea. Umlaut indeed in factu above alu particulo u especially u significantly equal. She's a great athlete. In fact, one of the best in the country. The team worked hard to meet the deadline. Indeed, they stayed late every night. Conclusion is summary in conclusion u to sum up u in short to overall u final u in summary. Example: in conclusion, the new policy will benefit everyone. Questions with answers. 1. Which connector best completes the sentence? She studied very hard. Underscore. She passed the exam with flying colors. However, therefore, although viewed in addition, because of best connector to complete the sentence is be. Therefore, the sentence she studied very hard. Therefore, she passed the exam with flying colors shows a cause and effect relationship. The first part of the sentence, she studied very hard, is the cause, and the second part, she passed the exam with flying colors, is the effect or result. Why? Other options are incorrect. However, this is a contrast connector. It would suggest an unexpected or contradictory outcome. Example: she studied very hard. However, she failed the exam. See, although this is also a contrast connector. Is typically used at the beginning of a clause to introduce a concession. Example: although she studied very hard, she failed the exam. But this is a coordinating conjunction used for contrast. Example: she studied very hard, but she still failed. E. In addition. This is an addition connector. It's used to add more information. Example, she studied very hard. In addition, she worked on practice problems. F. Because this is a subordinating conjunction that introduces a reason or cause. It would be used to connect the clauses in a different order. Example, she passed the exam with flying colors because she studied very hard. 2. Which sentence uses a connector of contrast? I wanted to go out. However, it was raining. B. She likes apples and bananas. C. We went to the park and played games. D. He was tired, so he slept. E. We went to the market and bought some fruit. F. She stayed home because she was sick. G. I studied hard, therefore I passed. The sentence that uses a connector of contrast is, I wanted to go out. However, it was raining. The word however is a connector of contrast because it introduces an idea that is contrary to the first part of the sentence. The desire to go out is contrasted with the fact that it was raining, which prevents it. Why? Other options are incorrect. B. She likes apples and bananas, and is a connector of addition. C. We went to the park and played games, and is a connector of addition or sequence. D. He was tired, so he slept, so is a connector of cause and effect. E. We went to the market and bought some fruit, and is a connector of addition or sequence. F. She stayed home because she was sick. Because is a connector of cause and effect. G. I studied hard, therefore I passed. Therefore is a connector of cause and effect. 3. Fill in the blank. She enjoys sports, swimming and cycling, such as B but C. However D because E so F nevertheless G. Since the correct answer is a such as, the phrase such as is a connector used for illustration. It introduces specific examples that clarify a broader category. In this sentence, swimming and cycling are specific examples of the sports she enjoys. Why other options are incorrect? B but C. However, F nevertheless. These are all connectors of contrast. They would be used to introduce a contradictory idea. D because, E so, G since. These are all connectors of cause and effect. They are used to explain the reason for something or to show a result. Point 4. Which sentence uses a connector of emphasis? A. We planned the trip carefully. Above all, we wanted everyone to have fun. B. We went to the market and bought some fruit. C. She stayed home because she was sick. D. I studied hard, therefore I passed. E. I wanted to go out. However, it was raining. F. She likes apples and bananas. The sentence that uses a connector of emphasis is a. We planned the trip carefully. Above all, we wanted everyone to have fun. The phrase above all is a connector of emphasis. It highlights the most important point among several ideas. In this sentence, the most important aspect of the careful planning was ensuring everyone had fun. Why other options are incorrect? B. We went to the market and bought some fruit, and is a connector of addition. C. She stayed home because she was sick. Because is a connector of cause and effect. D. I studied hard, therefore I passed. Therefore is a connector of cause and effect. E. I wanted to go out. However, it was raining. However is a connector of contrast. F. She likes apples and bananas, and is a connector of addition. X. Recise yourself. 1. Which connector is used to add information? A. But bin addition although because E. consequently although 2. Choose the correct connector for the sentence. We missed the bus. We were late for class. A consequently although and because E. But fin addition because 3. Which connector best completes the sentence? She studied very hard. She passed the exam with flying colors. However, therefore, although viewed in addition, although because 4. Which sentence uses a connector of addition? A. We planned the trip carefully. Above all, we wanted everyone to have fun. B. We went to the market and bought some fruit. C. She stayed home because she was sick. D. I studied hard, therefore I passed. First, wash the vegetables, then cut them into pieces. F. She stayed home because she was sick. G. The store was closed, therefore we went to another one. 5. Choose the correct connector for the sentence. The hotel is beautiful. It's near the beach. A moral verb however. C. Because therefore. E. Then for example answers to all exercise are as follows. 1. B. In addition to. A. Consequently 3. B. Therefore 4. B. We went to the market and bought some fruit. 5. A. Moreover welcome to. Thank you so much for joining us on the Ethio Hey Bash School channel today. I hope you found this session valuable. To stay updated on our next lessons, where we'll explore even more important topics, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until next time, I'm Aginchu Tesfa. Take care and keep learning.